as students, grade 11 students specifically this morning, boys and girls, is just to elaborate on a few important elements when it comes to university and where you are currently in grade 11. I think the most important thing that we as a university want to avoid, a scenario that we want to avoid, is when you apply next year with your grade 11 marks, you first of all, you don't have the right subjects, and that's usually a grade 9 discussion. But when you want to apply next year and you came across, but I do have the right subjects, but I did not perform well enough within it, or to manage your expectation to an extent to make sure that, okay, I actually do have the right subjects to be able to apply for program X, Y, or Z. So that's what we're going to elaborate a bit on this morning, as well as what more or less Stellenbosch is about. Where are we positioned within the rankings in South Africa as well as abroad? Right, so guys, like I said as well, my name is Landru. I'm from the Division of Student Recruitment, and it's basically my job to ensure that when you guys apply to Stellenbosch next year, you apply to the right courses, first of all. And my job's also to make sure that we get you to your end destination and knowing a lot of different back routes or different ways to get to your end destination. Now, when we look at Stellenbosch University, we currently have around about 32,500 full-time students, which means in the morning from around about 8 o'clock until the afternoon at 5, there will be 32,500 students in class each and every day. Now, of these 32,500 full-time students, we've got 3,700 international students from about 104 different countries. Now, I usually make this example, boys and girls, because it's really important to know that we as South Africa, we are a country. We're a country that's quite diverse already. What I mean by that is we've got a lot of different cultures, a lot of different religions, and as a South African individual, we are quite adaptable towards diversity. Now, what makes this quite interesting as well, having a lot of international students at Stellenbosch University, you will get to mingle, you will get to go to class with a lot of different students from different countries, from abroad, from African countries, from Europe, from America. And at the end of the day, I believe it makes you more adaptable towards and within your working environment one day. And I like to make an example. You end up studying your specific degree program with the individual from Germany, right? And you end up working when you're done studying, you end up working for a German company within Cape Town or within Joburg or wherever. And you already know what the German individuals, what their work ethic looks like, what their culture looks like, what they value within the working or the professional environment. And at the end of the day, it makes you more adaptable if you were exposed to more individuals from a lot of different countries, getting to know their culture, getting to know their way of doing things. Now, when we look at Stellenbosch University, boys and girls, we've got 10 faculties. Now, a faculty is literally a fancy word for a department. So if you, for example, study civil engineering, you will study civil engineering from out the engineering faculty or department, right? So we've got 10 faculties. We offer 74 different undergraduate programs, which means there's 74 different degrees to choose from. And these 74 degree programs runs over 5 different campuses. Stellenbosch University, with the picture that you're currently seeing on the slide, that is what Stellenbosch University main campus looks like. Right. If you look a bit more to your right on the picture, you'll see some mountains there covered with some clouds, but that's more or less what campus looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. As well as 85%, if I can put a number on it, or percentage on it, 85% of the degree programs that we offer at Stellenbosch University takes place on Stellenbosch main campus, which is based in Stellenbosch. Then we have 4 other campuses. Our medicine and health sciences faculty. If you wish to study something to become like a doctor or nursing or occupational therapy or physiotherapy, you will study that from a separate campus, which is not based in Stellenbosch. It's based just next to Tygerberg Academic Hospital, which is like a 30-minute drive from Stellenbosch. Then we also have a military science faculty and campus based in Saldanha Bay, it's in the western coast. We've got a satellite campus in Worcester, and not the source. It's actually a town in the Western Cape. And then also we've got a satellite campus or different campus in Bellville Park. So that's more or less our 5 campuses. But like I said, Stellenbosch University and Stellenbosch campus being the main campus. Now, a lot of times people have asked me, so, sir, or whatever they would like to call me. Some Afrikaans people call me Oom, and then I want to almost get a heart attack. But they ask me, listen, is Stellenbosch a good university to study at? And usually when I present the slide, I say to people, you can make up your own mind if we are a good university or not. Right. So according to Times Higher Education, you will see there on the first bold sentence, Times Higher Education World University Rankings. That's basically an institution that ranks universities on a global scale. Now, we are among the top 300 universities in the world. There's around about, just to give you an idea, around about 2,500 universities ranked on this system. We are among the top 300 universities in the world as Stellenbosch University. We're also one of the top 20 universities within the BRICS countries. So if you're unfamiliar what we mean by BRICS, it stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Right, we are also featured in excellence in 10 of the 36 ranked subjects that's offered at university. Now, if you think of the word excellence, excellence is a better word than just moderate or average. The fact that it says excellence also shows you if it's a good university, yes or no. And then currently also, we are the #1 in South Africa with our agriculture and forestry degree, which is 74th in the world. We currently have the #1 faculty of agri-science in Africa. And we also have the best, in South Africa, and oldest theology, divinity, and religious studies faculty as well as programs. So I hope this slide actually provides you with some context if you were wondering if Stellenbosch is a good university. So boys and girls, today we're here to talk about your grade 11 marks. And I know you guys are approaching, or getting closer to your end of year exam. And I really hope that this presentation today actually manage your expectation and actually just provide you with a bit of context going into this last exam. So we asked the question, where can good grade 11 marks take me? And why is it important? Because you apply with grade 11 marks next year. That is why it is important. And why should my marks be really good? Because of the following. All right, so we've got different fields of interest at Stellenbosch University. Okay, now, as mentioned a bit earlier on, we've got 10 faculties. You as a grade 12 learner next year can apply for 9 of the 10 faculties. The 10th one is literally just is where you need to do something prior to your actual application, and that goes for the military science faculty. So if you wish to study something military science related, you first need to go and do your basic training at the South African National Defence Force. That can be the fleet or the army or the air force as well, and then apply for a degree at our military science faculty. But the rest of them is also listed on the screen now. Now, we divide them within 2 categories. We divide them within science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, or in other academic lingo, we call them the STEM faculties, right? And STEM literally stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And those faculties entails agri-science, health sciences, engineering, as well as science, right? And then on the other side, there's also a stigma at some universities or some students, some parents maybe, that you cannot go and study with math lit. And boys and girls, yes, you can. You can go and study at Stellenbosch, or come and study at Stellenbosch University with math lit within the faculties of social sciences. You can study law, you can study education, as well as theology, right? So an important thing to remember is you should understand where you currently are, right? And I know you currently either at school or at home or in grade 11, right? But understanding where you currently are is just to emphasize that you apply with your final grade 11 marks when you are in grade 12. The reason why we want to look at how consistent you guys actually were over a period of a whole year, and that is specifically why you apply with grade 11 marks. That's your most recent marks over a period of a whole year, right? So we asked the question, why is it important? Why is it important to have good grade 11 marks? I typically say to students when I visit schools and we give them the prospectus or the typical university booklets showing what we offer, showing what you should have percentages-wise. Boys and girls, there's a reason why we call that the minimum admission requirement, and emphasizing the word minimum. Because sometimes we as grade 11 learners make the mistake, we tend to make the mistake to whatever it says in those booklets, we tend to make that our goal. If it says there you need to have a 60%, a 65% aggregate at the end of grade 11, and 60% for math, I aim for 68, and 61 for math because then I'm going to get a spot. But we forget that those are all minimum admissions just to be able to apply for the program, not to get into the program, right? So that's what I meant earlier on as well. We should never make whatever it says in those typical university booklets our goal, because a lot of people apply with much more and much higher marks than what it says in those booklets, and universities rather give those individuals a spot with higher marks, right? So that's why today's session is important as well, to emphasize and to hopefully inspire you guys to really work hard within the last term of grade 11. There's also selection requirements. Selection requirements is what we talk about when there's additional requirements that you need to adhere to within specific faculties. So that's another reason why we say perform better than what it says in the typical booklet, because selection requirements are also requirements that's a bit higher within specific programs and specific faculties. Grade 11 results are also important when it comes to placement in residences. Right, we also look at your grade 11 marks when we give you a spot in a res or alternatively not. It's also important for bursary applications, because remember, all of this stuff happens while you're still in grade 12. So grade 11 is what you will submit in order to go and study for your res placement as well as to apply for bursaries. And then we say consistency is super important in maintaining your subjects, to perform as well as possible within all of your current subjects, and to remember whatever you need for a specific program that you want to go and study, if those subjects and marks are on your grade 11 results, it must be also on your grade 12 results. You can't change subject now at the end of grade or at the beginning of grade 12, but it's still on your grade 11 report. You apply with grade 11 results, but when we should give you a final offer, those subjects needed for a specific program is not on your report card anymore. You're going to lose your spot. So just make sure on that as well. So boys and girls, when you look and dive a bit into the individual faculties at Stellenbosch University, I want to elaborate on some of them. So the first one is agri-sciences. Now this I know because when I visit schools and visit individuals, there's also a huge stigma behind the word agri-sciences. When we talk about agri-sciences, some people tend to think or reply with the phrase, "No, thank you, I don't want to become a farmer." Right? That's the first thing that they say. And then the second thing that they think about in the head is like a guy with like a khaki short, khaki two-tone shirt, John Deere buckle belt, you know, the leather shoes, the khaki socks. And if you hear from the faculty as well, they elaborate on this one specific phrase, which is, "We don't train farmers." That's the idea of the faculty. Although we do have a program, one of the 13 within this faculty, where you can go and study to become like a farm manager or a winemaker, etc. But the theme of this faculty is not to train farmers. The theme of this faculty says it in its name itself, agri-sciences, which means we train scientists within the field of agri. Right. You can look at the important subjects there as well. Important subject, mathematics and physical sciences, is what you need to be able to apply for programs within the specific faculty. Now, people that study from this faculty typically become something like, and these are just a few examples, something like a forest manager, something like a food scientist. If you think about if you go and buy a packet of Simba chips or knickknacks or Fritos or whatever, at the back of that packet, it will usually tell you what's in this stuff that I'm going to eat now, or how fat this thing's going to make me, right? Now that's food scientist. It tells you, listen, this is what's in here, this is how we made it, these are all of the ingredients. It's food scientists that actually made products for us to consume, that it's safe for us to consume. Right, conservation ecologist. Westering not far being far from the ocean, people come and study conservation ecology at Stellenbosch University and do their masters within marine biology and become a marine biologist. Right, animal scientist, water management specialist, winemaker. We are the only university in South Africa that offers a BSc degree in viticulture and oenology. Right, literally from planting the vineyard, growing the vineyard, harvesting the grapes, making the wine, marketing the wine, exporting the wine, all of that stuff happens within the same specific degree. Just something to mention, all of these degrees within agri-sciences, the majority of them are also BSc degrees. BSc degrees meaning a bachelor's in science, right? And it's not just science, but it's applied science. So that's what makes this difference from just the normal idea of I don't want to become a farmer. Right. Guys, on the right-hand side, our science faculty, once again, important subjects you need to have is mathematics as well as physical sciences. Within this specific faculty, we offer 4 different streams. When it comes to science, we offer a biological stream where you can study something, for example, from our biological stream, something like biodiversity and ecology, human life sciences. You can study molecular biology and biotechnology. You can study sports science, which is all BSc degrees. Then on the physical science point or stream within this faculty is your typical stuff like your BSc chemistry, BSc in physics, your geoinformatics, your earth sciences, if you want to become a geologist. Right. So then there's another stream, there's a mathematical stream. If you want to study something like BSc mathematical sciences or computer science also falls within the specific faculty. Right. And then there's a last one, an interdisciplinary one, where the biomedical scientist falls within, as well as our data science within the science faculty, which is obviously related to science and the theme of data science. So this is more or less what our science faculty entails. The nice thing of this faculty, boys and girls, is that it provides you the opportunity to study your 3-year degree, a science degree, whether it's irrespective of one of those 4 streams that I just mentioned. Your 4th year, you study your honors degree, which is the next type of degree that you get. And then this faculty actually tend to lean towards an opportunity to do your master's degree, which is the next level of a qualification, but then it can be a master's within engineering from our specific degrees. So it's a different way to get yourself within the engineering sphere of work one day. When we continue to our health science faculty, boys and girls, yes, this is that one faculty that I spoke of earlier on, where you have your own separate campus, right? It's like a 30-minute drive from Stellenbosch. And people that study from this faculty typically become something like a medical doctor, a surgeon after they specialize further, an occupational therapist, a physiotherapist, a speech, language, and hearing therapist. We also have nursing from our this specific faculty as well. But with nursing, there's a reason why they didn't put it on here, because nursing you can apply with math lit as well as only life sciences and not physical sciences. Right. But the really nice thing of our health science faculty is that you have your own separate campus with your own library, with your own computer labs, with your own residences, with your own student center, with your debonair or your Roman's Pizza or your Spa or your OK or your Pick and Pay. Everything is separate from Stellenbosch University. And you also have the most recent brand new building at Stellenbosch University, the Biomedical Research Institute. That's built on the health science faculty as well. So it's quite amazing. And you will have access to that from Martis.com, but we'll elaborate on that just a bit later on. When it comes to engineering, we offer 7 different streams of engineering at Stellenbosch University. Once again, important subjects that you will need to have mathematics and physical sciences to be able to apply for engineering. Now, the really nice thing of our engineering faculty, boys and girls, is that the fact you have a generic first year within your first year now. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, person X studies civil engineering and person Y study mechatronic engineering. Both of those 2 individuals have exactly the same first year, right? So all streams of engineering that we offer, except data engineering, have exactly the same first year. Now, the reason why faculty actually came across that sometimes people want to move over from, for example, civil engineering, because they studied their first year and they came across, you know what, actually I like mechatronic or mechanical engineering more. And then the option is there for you to move over without missing out on any subjects because you had the same first year. So that's something that is quite unique to Stellenbosch engineering faculty. The other really nice thing is, girls, we are part of a group organization called the Washington Accord. So when you're done studying engineering at Stellenbosch University, you can go and work within any other of those countries that's also part of the Washington Accord. And I want to go as far as saying 95% of the world, America belongs to the Washington Accord. Canada belongs to the Washington Accord. The majority of Europe belongs to the Washington Accord. Australasia, which means Australia and New Zealand, belongs to the Washington Accord, which means when you're done studying engineering at Stellenbosch University, you can go and work within one of those countries that also belongs to the Washington Accord without doing a bunch of other tests, and to make sure that you're on the right level, you are already on the same level. Right. When it comes to our economic and management sciences, you'll remember grade 11s. When you think back to grade 8 and 9, you had a subject called EMS, or Economic and Management Sciences. And if you think back as well, that was a nice introduction towards economics, introduction to business studies, introduction to accounting. Now, we call the economic and management sciences, that's our business faculty, right? So if you want to study something business related at Stellenbosch University, then obviously this is your faculty. Now, something really important that I need to mention today, boys and girls, is the following. Sometimes when a university address learners at schools, some of the learners also make the mistake when they leave the session, they're like, okay, I have a really nice idea what universities work like. Okay, but this is really important to remember today, that this is primarily what Stellenbosch University works like, right? And what I mean by this is, for example, if you want to study from this Economic and Management Sciences faculty at Stellenbosch, you will need to have pure mathematics. Okay, other universities you might be able to, for example, do a bridging course from Math Lit to Math and then continue with your studies. But at Stellenbosch University, you will need to have core mathematics to be able to study from this specific faculty, right? So that is why I'm mentioning that. Please make sure that when we're done with the session today, you know what Stellenbosch University goes about and not what all universities works like, right? So from this faculty, boys and girls, people tend to become stuff like chartered accountants, actuarial scientists, marketing manager, logistics managers. We also offer a data scientist or data science from this specific faculty as well. So there's a lot to choose from this specific faculty, but the math component is super important to know. Right. So thus far we spoke about faculties where you need pure mathematics, core mathematics, as well as physical sciences. Right. Now we get to the faculties where you can apply with math or math lit as well. So the first faculty we talk about, or we speak about, arts and social sciences. It's a study of humans, right? And not necessarily physiology, biology, but more on a social aspect, right? So we divide this faculty into categories. The first one, humanities and social science, and the other one, arts and culture. When we look at humanities and social science, you can see the important subjects, mathematics or math lit, and then recommended subjects if you have these subjects already at school, stuff like additional languages, history, geography, or religious studies, then you can typically study from this specific faculty. People usually become something like a psychologist. Our Department of Psychology falls within this faculty, or they go and work as a diplomat within the government area or sphere, within the political sciences stream as well, or social work, or become a language practitioner. Human resource practitioner is also a really famous degree that people like to study from at this specific faculty, or also the pastor or pastoral counselor falls within this faculty, right? On the right-hand side is your more creative individuals, right? So your actor or your stage manager or your artist, your visual communication designer. We also offer that, and then obviously with actor or visual communication design, which is visual arts, or drama. Super important to know is there's a selection point or selection requirement based on these degrees. And what I mean by that is, if you want to study, for example, music, right, you will need to apply showing that you did previous music qualifications as well, for example, your UNISA or your Trinity exams, right? When you want to study, for example, visual arts, you will need to submit an additional portfolio so that the university can see how you paint, how you draw, how you sculpt, etc., right? And then if you wish to study, so we touch on music, visual arts. If you want to study drama, you will need to come do an audition at the university. And same with music, you also will have to come and do an audition as well, right? So those stuff that you need to do prior to your actual application, we talk about that as selection requirements or selection points. Okay. Because when it comes to our two last faculties, the second last one, education, I think we're all familiar with what we mean by education, right? So we offer two different streams at Stellenbosch University on how we train our teachers. We have a foundation phase BA degree, which means a bachelor's in education, as well as a BA degree in intermediate phase education. Now, the difference between the two, foundation phase is grade 1 to 3 teacher, if you want to become a grade 1 to 3 teacher. Intermediate phase teacher is grade 4 to 6 and 7, right? So with foundation phase, not specific subject needed, but when it comes to intermediate phase, you will see in the description where it says important subjects, recommended subjects is then life sciences, physical sciences, history, and geography. The reason why we say that is because we train teachers within two different streams. We train them within the social science stream, which means then you should either have history or geography because that's what social science entails as a subject. Or on the other side, the natural science stream is literally a combination of life science and physical sciences, right? So you should either have one of those subjects to be able to apply if you want to do the natural science teacher. So it's really important just to know that if your idea was to become an intermediate phase teacher, grade 4 to 6 or 7, you should have one of those 4 subjects. The high school stream works a bit differently. So if you want to become a high school teacher, the university's approach on this is they say, for you to be a high school teacher, you must be quite knowledgeable about the area or subject field that you want to teach. Okay, so I usually make an example. Let's say you want to become a biology teacher. So then you will apply for a degree with a really strong focus point on biology. So that can be, for example, human life sciences or biodiversity and ecology. So something from our science faculty then, right? So then you will study that degree for 3 years to become really knowledgeable about biology. So now, like, okay, but now I study a degree which is not educational, or how do I then become a teacher? So then in your 4th year, you apply for a qualification that we call the PGCE, which stands for Postgraduate Certificate in Education. Now, I usually explain it like this, boys and girls. In the 4th year, in this postgraduate certificate in education, after you completed your degree, in this 4th year, they don't really train you on what biology or whatever field you studied to be able to teach that. That can be economics, it can be math, it can be biology, it can be physical science. In this 4th year of postgraduate certificate in education, they don't train you or teach you more stuff about biology or about economics, about your degree, because you have a degree in that already, right? In this 4th year, they teach you, how do I take this knowledge that I obtained in my degree and how do I present that to learners sitting in front of me? How do I maintain discipline in my classroom? The methodology and as well as the psychology behind education. That's what they teach you within this 4th year. So that's the high school route. So if you want to do the high school route, you first study a degree within your field that you want to go and teach to become as knowledgeable as possible. Then do my postgraduate certificate in education, and then I can become a teacher. So initially you study and apply for the degree of the field that you want to go and teach one day. Right, the last faculty, boys and girls, law at Stellenbosch University. Once again, you can apply with math or math lit to become either a lawyer, an advocate, legal advisor. That's quite straightforward. For 2 of the 4 programs, you can apply with math lit, which is also the most famous program, LLB. Right, it's the shortest way to practice as a lawyer or an advocate, or BA law. You can apply with as well if you have math lit. Right. So, boys and girls, at the end of the day, yes, your qualification. So we touched on the 9 faculties now, and you know more or less what qualification you will study, in what faculty you slot in. And we say the future world of work, yes, when you study at Stellenbosch, you get a world-class qualification, but the other attributes is just as important for your future world of work. And what we mean by soft skill is your typical emotional intelligence, right? Or your diversity intelligence. We touched on that earlier on. As a country, as South Africa, we are quite diverse already. But when you study at Stellenbosch, you get exposed to people from abroad as well. So diversity intelligence is just as important, and to be open to it, as well as adaptability, as well as empathy, as well as caring. Problem-solving skills, you will get to do problem-solving skills within all 74 degrees that we offer at Stellenbosch University, as well as effective and communication and networking skills. But what I want to emphasize here is you must be open to all of these stuff. And why I elaborate on this is because you can have all of the knowledge in the world and all of the knowledge that you obtained within your 3 or 4 year degree. But if you don't know how to use and apply that knowledge, right, you're going to struggle when you move into the working environment. So it's good to know this stuff already and to be open to it, even within your school environment still in grade 12, to ensure a smooth transition from school to university. So then we say the tips of choosing a career: you know yourself, you know your goals, you know your talents and your attributes, you know your values. And then we say go and do some research. And boys and girls, we've got a platform called www.martis.com. So I will share this PowerPoint anyway with your teacher so you have access to and the spelling of it, and I'll share some resources as well. But when we say go and do some research about Stellenbosch University on that specific website called Maties.com. M-A-T-I-E-S, Maties.com, right? That's your specific platform to gain information from. Each and every year we have an open day, right, that you can come and visit. We also have an online open day, which is also accessible from Maties.com. If you can't make it to Stellenbosch, you can watch through all of the videos of the online open day as well. Then we usually say to people, please make use of the job share or make use of job shadowing. I believe there's nothing better to manage your expectation about a specific career than to take 2 days out of one of your 4 holidays and go and work with somebody within your field that you think about, okay, I want to move within that specific field one day, right? What we don't want to have is you start studying a specific program because you have an idea, this is more or less what it entails. You get to your second year and you hate every moment of it. We don't want that. So do some job shadowing as well, right, just to manage your expectation. And then the last one there, we say complete the PACE career questionnaire. Now, what is that? Guys, when you go onto Maties.com, you will get a block like this career guidance program. When you click on career guidance program, it will take you to a window that looks like this. This is the Go Study website. Take the questionnaire, right, or career questionnaire, and take the questionnaire. Now, this is a really nice aptitude and interest test, right? It's for free, doesn't cost anything. You fill in 100 questions, it's going to take you 15 minutes to do it, right? And when you're done with this questionnaire, accessible from Maties.com, it gives you a result page like this. Now, this individual that filled this in, for example, performed really well within information technology, performed really well within science and mathematics. The awesome thing of this is, boys and girls, is when you then click on one of these blue, elements, if you click, for example, on information technology, or if you click here on the blue area, it takes you to the degrees that we offer at Stellenbosch University based on the areas that you perform really well within. So if this individual click on information technology, which was the best one he or she performed in, it will take them most probably to something like computer science, right? So this is another way on how we guide you in a sense about, okay, what should I apply for? Am I on the right track, etc. The second last thing that I want to mention, at Stellenbosch University, we offer career advice services, right, either in person or online. So how it goes about is it's a for free service. You just send us a mail to that email address on the screen currently, or phone that number, and we sit with you online, almost like a session like this, look at your grade 11 marks, and then we go through it in a sense, okay, how can you get to your end destination based on your current marks? Right, we have that. Boys and girls, we also offer psychometric assessment at Stellenbosch University on campus. There's a financial implication on that as well, but let's say you are in the region, you can book your spot as well, also popping a mail to that specific email address. Right. If there's any other further questions that you have, you're also more than welcome to send me an email to that specific email address that's on your screen currently, landru@sun.ac.za, and on the right-hand side, there's maties.com. That's your website where you can go and do research. That's also the website that you will be applying from next year. Boys and girls, then I want to say thank you for your time this morning. I know I spoke a lot now, but like I said, we're here to help, and we really wish to see all of you in a few years here at Stellenbosch University from Westering High School. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck with your exam. I know it's going to go really well. Thank you.